of you joining us in. I am joined today by an esteemed panel of very special guests. First up is Abdulelah Roshi, one third part of Jabhaverse podcast. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I believe SoundCloud as well.
Yep.
Also joining in from Riyadh is Sultan Saad, the owner of Saudi Arabia's first ever brick and mortar comic book store. And from Jeddah, I'm joined by Talal Tayyib, who is also known as Figuresmaster, uh, a famous cosplayer, but most importantly, the owner of the Toyseum for all vintage action figures.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Pleasure is mine, guys. Okay, let's get to the topic of the day. We are only a few days away from Comic Con Arabia, and I don't know if I'm the only one who's feeling this or all of you share the same feeling, but I think something is not right with the Comic Con event that's happening each and every year in Saudi Arabia. It started out as a major event with A-list celebrities, and now we're just like going in a clueless direction. So, Abdulelah, can you start with your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, I kind of share this same opinion. Uh, Previously, you think that it was a major event, like you said, but in the recent years, the guests, the celebrities that are invited to these Comic Cons, even the artists, there isn't a stable theme to these Comic Cons, and of course, like every year, there are less and less comic book artists or writers, um, or anyone related to the comic book industry. They try to focus on, you know what? Let's get whoever celebrity is available in that period. So there isn't something exciting to make you want to attend these events. It's just like, okay, yeah, I just want to meet my friends over there, and that's it.
Sultan, would you like to weigh in on this?
Yeah, exactly. But also, and I cannot call it a Comic Con because it's not related to comics. It's like more an anime con more than Comic Con. I know it's because anime is huge in Saudi Arabia, and I respect that, and it's good also. I'm not against that, but nothing related. So, for example, when Comic Cons go to Kuwait or Dubai or Abu Dhabi, they at least bring an A-lister artist or writer and a lot of B-listers and C-listers. But that's okay because they have books that people read. They have art that are sold in the shops, and people comes to my store or buy from Amazon like covers for the same artists that are in Dubai or in Kuwait or even anywhere just to get the signature. This is the main thing of Comic Con. You meet the writer and you speak to him about the story that you read. It's not about just what's in TV or what new games or a new anime or stuff. So even though they don't sell even mangas there, this is the problem. So this is my thing.
Okay, Talal, how would you weigh in into
Hello.
this?
Yeah, and if I want to rate all Comic Con events, including Stan Lee SuperCon, the ones, let's say starting from the first one that started here in Saudi Arabia in 2016. And the first one I consider it's one of the best. And at least the theme of Star Wars was the best there.
Right.
And if maybe that time the location wasn't that good, some of the stuff there wasn't good. Comparing from the first to the last, I was disappointed last year that Comic Con was for 2 days. It's here also for 2 days. And
Uh, We can't hear you, Talal.
Yeah, we lost the audio.
Yeah, we lost the audio. Talal.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, guys.
No, no, it's
Uh,
okay.
yes. Can I join later because it's it's really difficult for me. I'll come back in a few minutes.
Sultan, just keep manage it like this. Keep going back and forth.
Okay,
No
thank you.
problem. No problem.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Talal. Now we can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear.
Okay. Uh, as I was saying, yani, from the first Comic Con that happened here in Saudi Arabia, including Stanley SuperCon or whatever, and the first one was the best. And from that time to now, it's yani, I'm going there only to have fun. Yani, I'm starting not finding any some rare or vintage collection, whether comics or figures. Um, and mostly, I think it's more commercial. Yani, for the first couple of ones, we had lots of great celebrities. This one, till now, they didn't announce for any celebrities coming. So I'm having my doubts about this one, unfortunately. What you can say? The disappointing thing is Comic Con is always for 3 days. Last year and this year is 2 days only.
Yeah,
So
you can't
what's the
even
purpose?
manage your schedule accordingly. 2 days isn't
Two
enough.
days? No, it's not enough. Not
Yeah,
enough. Yani even when I go to the one who was in Dubai, now it's in Abu Dhabi for the last 2 years.
yeah,
Usually it starts from 12 o'clock up to 10 or 12 max.
yeah,
This one here starting from 4 to 12. So, or 2 actually. And even the timing, maybe the timing is okay for most of us because we have work.
yeah.
But still, yani, I'm having my doubts. Till now, as I said, there's no celebrities coming. They didn't announce for any celebrity. Last year, I had the chance to get the signature for uh, Oliver, for what you can say, Stephen Emile.
Stephen Amell,
Uh,
yes.
Yeah,
Green Arrow.
Green
yeah,
Green
for
Arrow.
Green
Arrow.
Arrow.
Yeah,
And also, I got the signature from Hiroshi-san, the one who the artist who drew Eisenberg and Godzilla, Rajul Hadid and Godzilla, and also
Yes.
Ultraman.
Yes. The artist
So,
for Eisenberg and Rajal Al Hadidi. I
yeah,
remember the guy.
yeah.
Okay.
But so far, yani, last year I did something interesting. Yani, from all the people who are selling there at the shops. Last year I didn't find any comic book seller. Maz, you wasn't there last year. You
No,
was there last year and you
no,
had comic book. And I
till
found
now
couple,
I
and I
attended every
remember I
con.
took from you a couple of rare items. But you are the only one there, unfortunately. Also, there were one guy who was selling Pokemon cards and some other cards, Poked, and it was amazing. But still, I couldn't find some rare items I can get. So I'm going there for cosplay most of the time. So this year I'm going for two, which Maz no, Grandizer, and the other one. I'm still waiting for you, Maz, to come and take the last video before I go. It's for Optimus Prime.
I'm basically that's the only motivation remaining for me to come to Comic Con, that I get to see your cosplay in action, and at the same time, it's other than that, like both of you were saying, it's a very weird situation, because both of you rightly pointed out that it started out with the celebrities. The comic book experience, the superhero experience is
Yes.
tremendously missing. The first one that happened, Saudi Comic Con in 2017, for me, as far as I'm concerned, I think the best Comic Con ever, that was, like a dream come true
True.
for all of us,
True.
was the one in Riyadh in 2019, Stan Lee
oh yeah,
SuperCon.
Stan Lee
For
SuperCon. Yeah,
Stanley SuperCon, yes.
yeah,
But
Because
let me tell you one thing, Maz.
tell me.
Yani, everybody here saying, yani, what we're seeing in Comic Con is not a cosplay for Marvel and DC anymore.
Yeah.
And here, even in UAE, Bahrain, all of them, any con, or Stanley SuperCon, or whatever, now everybody is going for even the animes more
Yes.
than DC and Marvel for one reason. Marvel and DC doesn't have that details that everybody have the passion to work on for the cosplays.
Correct.
So that's why everybody's going for the other anime.
But I want to stop here, and I want to basically like address the elephant in the room. Look, you are somebody who is collecting vintage action figures, and your collection includes anime, but most importantly, it includes a huge collection of action figures from Western pop culture and
True.
vintage items. And on the other
True.
side, I'm having Abdulelah. Now, Abdulelah is along with his two other friends, because they are a trio, and
Yeah.
these guys are talking about DC. These guys are talking about Marvel. These guys are talking about Image. These guys are talking about the independent comic books that are being written and that are being published in places like the US and Western Europe.
Yes.
So, from the perspective of a podcaster, Jabhaverse, uh, I mean, there is a demand, there is a community. Am I right or wrong? Or are it's
Yeah.
just only me and
No,
few
no,
of
no.
who are
There is
fans?
demand. Lots of people want to see Comic Con. Lots of people here in Jeddah and Riyadh, they want events like Comic Con. But you saw last year and this year, I'm afraid of what's going to happen.
Abdulillah, how would you weigh? We want to hear your experience, because you guys have been podcasting on this matter. You guys have been serving the community for the last, correct me if I'm wrong, at least 5 to 7 years now. What do you
Uh,
have to say?
Almost, yeah. Uh, yeah, like Talal said, and I would add that there are a couple of, let's say, aspects that are affecting our excitement to attend Comic Con.
Right.
Uh, One of them is for sure the venue. Like if they
Uh-huh.
decide on the venue, let's say, I'm not sure about the names in Jeddah, but let's say if it's in Riyadh,
Mhm.
uh, if it's in the convention center, the one in Roshan front,
Right.
that that one is definitely a big no for me because you'll have trouble with the parking, trouble getting out of the parking. The venue is kind of small, so you can't put any booths correctly there.
Yeah.
Either they'll be very small, or there'll be big spaces or big unused spaces.
Right.
So the venue itself is one of the reasons that will make you decide. Okay, where will they go? Jeddah or Riyadh? Okay, let's see what venue they will choose. Other than the venue, and other than, let's say, the celebrities and these kind of things, like I know for a fact that comic books aren't that popular here, but there is a community. There is a community who are passionate about it and excited to attend these kind of conventions. But the problem is, uh, well, we all know that anime are more popular, and it's not something new. It's been like this maybe forever.
Right.
But if they can do the same thing that they did with Stan Lee SuperCon and AnimeCon, where one part is for anime and the other part is for the comic books or the TV shows or whatever, just put them in the same, let's say, uh, venue.
Venue. Yeah.
That way, at least you'll have something to be excited about. Like, okay, if Stanley Supercon is boring, okay, I'll just go to the AnimeCon. Oh, they have this big statues and the stage where they have the cosplays or where they have a certain events or whatever. At least I can have that. But if they all cram it in one place, then for sure you'll find it like it's repetitive. You'll find it somewhat boring if they don't have any new attraction or any new celebrities to announce. It's happening right now. I don't know any of the celebrities are attending. They only announced, I think, two artists. One is a cover artist for Marvel and DC, or used to
Used
work
to.
for Marvel. Yeah, I
Mhm.
forgot what his name was. And there's also another artist, like a digital artist or something. But are they a good reason for me to attend SuperCon? No.
Okay, I just I come to you. I just have Abdulelah,
Yeah.
because Abdulelah, I need you to share your experience as a podcaster about the community, because look, what you're doing is something really interesting, and that is that you guys are talking about comics. You are not talking about the MCU primarily, or the DCU, or the animated series. You are actually talking about comics. So obviously
Yeah.
there are people who are reading comics في الرياض, في جدة, في مكة, في خبر, all of the country, all of the cities that are there in Saudi Arabia. And if you guys weren't, basically, if there was no community, nobody would be listening to Jabhaverse podcast, because alhamdulillah, you guys are on Apple Podcasts and you guys are on Spotify. What has been, as a podcaster, your interaction with the comic book reading community?
As in general, or in the conventions
In,
themselves?
in general, right now.
Oh, in general, yeah. Maybe I strayed from that question when you first asked it, but first of all, alhamdulillah that we have a good community and a good following, and we don't care about the numbers. We don't care about the reach that we're trying to or a certain audience that we're trying to get to. We're just trying to let's say spread the word of comics
Right.
and introduce comics as they are, that they are not really for or not really about superheroes, or not, it's not only about Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Avengers. No, there are way more comics to read, and many genres to read about comics.
Right.
So when we first started, we weren't sure about the audience or who will listen. So we just started making random subjects. But to our surprise, we found a small community that like to listen to our podcast, and alhamdulillah, they're giving us good feedback and their comments on how to improve. So our interaction is either about certain comments, certain writers, artists. What are the art style that we love to see in comic books? What's the writing type or the genres that we like to follow? And one thing led to another, and also, alhamdulillah, thanks to Sultan, when he opened Comicverse, we were introduced to a new audience, or even new comic book fans. So when we are discussing these things in either in comic books or in general, it's really nice to see that someone who likes the same thing that you like, the same things that you love, and you talk about it with passion. It's not that uh, and thankfully most of the community are not like big fanboys. Oh, DC is better. Oh, Marvel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, everyone have their preferences. Like they love DC, but they don't talk bad about the other company, or they just thrash them out or something.
yeah,
It's just their preference. Well, my preference is DC. Maybe that other guy, their preference is Marvel. But it's fine. We like to talk about what's in common, which is, let's say, maybe mystery comics, sci-fi comics. So it's really nice to see these kind of interactions and discussions, because they open your eyes to other things, maybe something you didn't notice either in the art style, the writings, the panels, the background. So it's really nice and interesting to have discussion about these kind of things.
Interesting you mentioned all of this, because now it's making it more clearer, because
true.
Talat, I think you weren't able to join us a little bit earlier, when before the live stream started. So we were just having a casual discussion with Sultan, both of us. And uh, Sultan has been going through a lot of, how should I say, physical stress, because he recently got the shipment at his store, and
Okay.
right now he is like in the middle of uh, stocking the comic books and the graphic novels, and also joining us for the live broadcast and attending to the customers.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Now,
Same. Same.
what's the most surprising thing here is that if there is no superhero community, or if there is no sizable segment of superhero community, then why are we seeing a comic verse selling out on items as soon as they land? Because mashallah, he just told us that Absolute Batman sold out at his store within 2 hours.
MashaAllah.
So
MashaAllah.
it means that there is a community. Okay, fine, we can argue that the store is in Riyadh, and Riyadh is now a much bigger metropolis, it's having a much bigger population. But the thing is, you, me, Abdulelah, all, Sultan, we were collecting superhero comics and stuff and things like these in Saudi at a time when it was extremely difficult to
Yes.
get these things. And now if somebody comes to me and says, okay, the reason why we are having these more anime focused activities is because the anime community is bigger. Okay, I accept that part, that okay, anime community, I believe, is not bigger, it's more active, because
Yeah.
the anime is more, has been more acceptable to the Saudi population, whether they are expats or Saudis, because for their strategy that they Arabized their content back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And DC and Marvel, DC entered this game very late in the 80s in Saudi Arabia. Marvel never even bothered. So they never were able to basically have a foothold uh,
No.
into the society. Things started to change when the world was becoming globalized, and we it was very easy for us to either travel to the US or order things from there. Now I am feeling very worried, because if things go the way they are going, there might be a situation where the General Entertainment Authority might just decide that okay, we don't need Comic Con. Do you guys feel that thing? I mean, you guys get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What do you guys have to say on this?
Talal, you want to go first or?
No, no. You first.
Okay. From my point of view, is that okay? If we connect it to, let's say, I wouldn't say it that way, but let's say that comic books are dying and they don't have that reach or that audience, therefore they can cancel Comic Con.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say that's the only reason. Superhero movies are not that good, to be honest, or as of late, they're not that great. Not all TV shows regarding superheroes or uh, this kind of TV shows are that great. They're on the list. Maybe recently Penguin. I haven't watched it, but I've heard a lot of good reviews about it. But looking at other superhero related media, let's say in general, whether it's movies, TV shows, this kind of things, they're not that great. If they continue to do so, I believe it will happen eventually. It will happen. But
Right.
it's not the only reason. It comes down to also organizing Comic Con itself.
That's the
Who,
big problem.
yeah,
A huge
uh,
problem.
exactly. Yes. So who are you gonna get? What's the theme? Is there going to be a theme? Okay, let's make it general. What kind of attractions you're gonna add to that con? What kind of booth are you going to offer? The prices of booth. Let's say that I just remembered if the artist or shop owners they want to have their own booth, the prices are ridiculous.
Yes.
Not everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're very ridiculous. And if you want to rent a booth in a good spot or a good area, the price is ridiculous. Even I'm not a shop owner or something, but I know the struggle. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the add up or stack up all those reasons, then yeah, eventually we might lose it. Are we gonna lose it anytime soon? I don't think so. Maybe because if you notice, it's only happening in Jeddah. Previously, it was we had twice we had them twice a year.
Yes.
Sorry, one was in Jeddah, one was in Riyadh, and even previously we had one, but I forgot what was its name in Dammam or Sharqiyya. But well,
In
if we
same time, like in Jeddah, we had and if maybe 4 or 5 events was in around 1 or 2 years continuously. Comic
exactly.
Con, and we had Geek Con, we had PUBG, we had maybe four
Gamers
together.
Con also. Gamers Con.
Gamers Con, yeah.
Yeah.
Gamers Con.
But
Okay.
now,
Talal, please continue because I want to add few things after your comments, your and Abdulillah's comments.
okay, sorry, Abdullah, to interrupt you. And
Okay.
for sure, yani, when I see, I go here and ask my friends how much you're getting the booth, like Jazeera al Kans. They're saying they paying lots of a big amount. I had my friends in Gamersvania, Iyad and Anani, saying,
Right.
"Talal, we are not going to get a booth for selling our items there. We'll just get the ticket and go." And the price is high. The place, like, it's small. It's not the
Yeah.
Superdome, but it's small. Superdome and the one now, Superdome was over big for Stanley SuperCon.
Yeah.
And it was, you remember, Maz, it was so huge, not big, so huge. Small items, small shops, one playing area,
Right.
and two places for 2 stages. And I was waiting. Remember when I was wearing a grenadier, I was near the stage, and you suddenly came running. Talal, you are waiting here for 2 hours. The stage is the other one.
Yeah.
And you told
I
me,
remember
let me
that.
handle your resume doja. I told you, no. You know how to run? And just everybody's saying, yay, grenadier is running. There's some monster there.
That was a very interesting sight.
Yeah. And imagine me running in Grenadier cosplay. It was a little bit hard.
I think I
Talal,
lost. Yeah, I think I lost the audio.
your audio is gone. Talal. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. Now
Can you
we
hear
can.
me?
Yeah, yeah,
Now
we
we
can
Yeah.
hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have a problem in my connection. Give me a second.
Okay. Glad you're back.
Sorry, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry for that. As I was saying, yani, now in Comic Con here,
Hmm.
the one here in Harthi, and it's small.
Mm.
Yeah, it had everything. Yeah, but it was overcrowded. And the organizers, they're doing their best, but we're facing problems. Whether
They are not doing their
people to
best.
buy,
I'm sorry.
to
I'm
walk.
sorry to disagree with you on that. They're not doing their best.
Yani, they're trying, but still, yani, you see, say, no, go that way. طب يا حبيبي, I want to go. This is shorter. No, you need to go all the way around. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a problem. Cosplayer having problem. There's no spot for them to change their clothes or fix it or whatever. Shoppers, they having the same problem. It's small next to each other and a small area. The other, yani, last year you saw the problem that we faced last year.
Exactly.
Yani,
We yeah.
and for those who saw my cosplay for Grandizer and Dogfleet and these, now let me just show you a small thing. We have a big cosplayers, okay? So if that happened, how I'm going to yani, go on the stairs? These are my legs.
Right.
See how big it is? And it's weight. How am I going to get the stair? I told them we need the rails. They said, no, there's only stairs.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm afraid of this year. And if nothing will go okay, I may drop from the competition. And it's a huge step for me to go backward, but I may go to it.
Habibi, I'm also considering not going to Comic Con Arabia this year because if it's going to be dominated by anime, that's not my genre, to be very
No.
honest. The other bit is I'm glad that all of you have highlighted the problems because a small booth at a Comic Con is costing 3,500 reals at least. That's number one. Number two is that sorry, not a booth, it's a kiosk,
Yeah,
kushk.
a table even.
Yeah, a table, kushk, if you can call it. That's costing around 3,500 or more if you add the tax and everything. That's number one. Number two is the lack of the support from the local partners. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but I learned that Stan Lee's SuperCon team has decided not to return to Saudi Arabia anymore.
Oh wow.
And the reason behind that is that the first event that happened in Riyadh was a huge success. The second one was also a huge success, but the local partner, because they are an international company, they don't have a sijil tijari here in Hana fi Saudiya. So the local partner is the one who can basically issue the POS machine for card
Yeah,
payments. In 2022, this was right after Corona.
yeah,
So a lot of the vendors, a lot of the small sellers, they never got paid for their sales. And people came in, they paid money on the POS machine, but the amount that was supposed to be transferred to Stanley SuperCon team so that they can distribute it to the artist alley vendors, it never reached them. A lot of them lost around like up to 10,000 reals per vendor. Now, the problem is that if Saudi Comic Con in 2017 can be a huge success, Stanley SuperCon in 2019 can be a huge success. We all saw with our own eyes that the celebrities that came in, people were lining up to meet them. People from here, not people from the tourists who came in from outside to meet Rob Liefeld or Bob Layton or Ron Mars or Michael Rooker or Zachary Levy. They were homegrown boys and girls, young and old, who I am one of the guys who met Lou Ferrigno during Stanley SuperCon in 2019. Now, whenever I'm in these events, I always try to observe the head count because it's not possible for me to count each and every one of them
Of course.
on my fingers. But it gives you an idea that, okay, there were like 100,000 people who attended in a 3 day period. And I'm glad that Talal also mentioned that Comic Con, since Comic Con Arabia restarted in 2022, they have been doing Comic Con only for 2 days. And
yeah. It was for last year, 23, and this year. So
Bardo,
no, 22. It was 3 days.
you sure?
Uh,
I think it was for two
yeah,
days.
2 days. No, 3 days. First day I was wearing Jumaro. Second day it was Grandizer. Third day I think yeah, it was something like that. There's
And
three classical players.
there is one very important comment I just got to notice from one of our community members, Khalid. He's from Shargiya, and
Yeah.
he's saying that the Comic Con Arabia has fixed the date for this year, 28th and 29th. You know what's the problem?
What?
Thanksgiving.
Exactly. So a lot of the big names will not come to Comic Con Arabia because they want to be for Thanksgiving holidays with their
To their
family.
family, yeah.
Thank you, Khalid, for mentioning that very important bit. Yani, it's just unbelievable, man, what the heck is going on. And the people who have been announced, I'm just like astonished. Having attended all of those great Comic Cons in Saudi Arabia, and now this is what we end up having. Minjid, man. Sorry. I
And
mean,
at least change the dates, make it a little bit earlier, two or
Or
3 weeks
or
earlier,
yeah, or later.
or later. يعني,
Yeah, maybe in December, like the first week or first or second weekend of December. At least it can work.
يعني, see, always for Comic Con in UAE, which they call it now MEFCC,
yes.
it's always in April, always first week of April.
Right. Exactly. Good point. Good point. One other funny bit, Abdulelah, when you said first week of December.
Yeah.
You know what happened last week with last year with me?
What happened?
Okay. Now, Comic Con Arabia dates overlapped
Was
with,
also in this last week, same, almost the same. It finished on 30th November
yeah,
last year.
but there is one thing that really made it like worse for me, because I could not leave Comic Con Arabia because of Stephen ML, but at the same time,
Red Sea
date
Festival.
of exactly the Red Sea International Film Festival dates overlapped. And last year, almost a huge major cast from MCU attended Red Sea International Film Festival. So my question is, I mean, why can't there be a collaboration or some kind of a cooperation with the support of GEA, with the support of Ministry of Culture, with the support of National Event Center, that all these big names from superhero cinema, yeah, Habibi, they even hosted Michael Yuslan, who is a comic book writer and the executive producer for all the Batman, the Joker, and the Batman movies, the Penguin series also. I mean, guys, if if you're going to be doing it in Jeddah and you're going to be so close with each other, for the love of God, make some kind of an arrangement that these celebrities come to the Comic Con as well as they come to the Red Sea International Film Festival.
Let me tell you something, Yani.
Sure, please share.
We can say in one word,
Yeah,
organizer issue.
yeah.
Organizer issue.
Organizer issue is a big problem.
Yeah.
Abdulillah, were you able to follow the Red Sea International Film Festival last year?
Of course not, because if anyone knows me, they know that I don't follow anything. I just give the news later.
Okay.
I don't get them on the spot. I just discuss it with my friend, and they say, "Oh, you know what happened at the festival? They had this actor, they had this actress, and whatever." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know. Good."
Okay, for our audience, especially those of us who are watching us on X and YouTube, you can go to my YouTube channel and check out my coverage for last year's Red Sea International Film Festival. Now, just imagine that there's a reason why I was asking you, Abdulillah. You had Chris Hemsworth, Thor. You had Andrew Garfield, Spider Man. You had Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider. You had Gwyneth
Yeah.
Paltrow, Pepper
When?
Potts. You had Zoe Saldana, Gamora.
Wow. Okay. And why didn't they invite them to the con? خلاص,
And
you had them already.
Habibi, one very important one for every X-Men fan. Halle Berry, Storm. And imagine the feeling I was having because, first of all, the dates overlapped. So I attend Comic Con Arabia, let's say from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. Then I run all the way to the other side of town to cover Red Sea International Film Festival. And I was fortunate that I was able to capture the video of Zoe Saldana on the red carpet. Then I came back to the other side of town, back to Comic Con Arabia. And because it's 2 days, I had to manage getting the poster signed by Stephen Amell and at the same time be able to do the coverage in Red Sea International Film Festival. So, okay, if you want to avoid the overlapping of dates and everything, uh, this is a big blunder if you are hosting an event on Thanksgiving. So that removes a lot of the celebrities that can come to Saudi Arabia. And on the other side, if there is an event organizer that is inviting the celebrities there, I know it's a lot of a logistical nightmare and a PR issue because their teams are very strict, the security detail and everything. But Alhamdulillah, we live in a country where there are resources and where there is a willingness to do great events now.
Exactly.
I am just absolutely puzzled on this part, seriously.
I just want to comment on something.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but I think Comic Con Arabia or even Stan Lee SuperCon,
yeah.
I think they're no longer organized by GEA. I think. I'm not sure. Maybe
Mhm.
we have to confirm that, but I'm sure that I've heard that they are no longer organizing them.
You are right. You are right
Yeah.
because the GEA is just now doing the supervisory bit, the permits, the supervision that everything is being done at the specific date. There are no other issues or coming in. They are basically now in the regulatory mode. Basically now it's encouraging the private sector, whether it's Saudi based companies or companies from outside, to come in and do the events. But
Correct.
what happened in after Stanley's SuperCon in 2022, how can we expect international players to come in? That's number one. And number two is, as far as the local, because Comic Con Arabia is, I came to know that it's actually part of Al Hukair Group,
Uh huh.
and that makes it really puzzling for me. Why? Because I mean, first time when they did it in Riyadh, they did something marvelous. They invited
True.
Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I didn't attend it, but
And also, if I'm not mistaken, Steven Seagal was there.
Yes, yes, Steven Seagal also. So they had these two heavyweights, but according to people who attended the first ever Comic Con Arabia, the place was really small, leading to overcrowding and everything. But at least, it's like from the perspective of perception building.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me comment on this one. Sorry.
please, please, please.
Okay. There's a difference between the crowd in Jeddah and the crowd in Riyadh.
Right.
And Riyadh, it's 10 times the one in Jeddah. So whatever the place they will take, and attended there. The one I attended with wearing a tiger mask, number مقنع.
Okay.
nice.
And it's huge. It's huge, but there is a huge crowd in Riyadh, more than Jeddah.
That I agree. I
يعني,
saw that in 2019.
yeah, if that's so, they need a bigger place like the Superdome,
Yeah.
or more. Here in Jeddah, يعني, if Al-Harthi was organized well, it will fit. But for people in Jeddah, we need the Superdome. Why? The weather condition is not helping.
But weather condition is a problem, Talal,
Yeah,
all
I
over
know.
Saudi
But what I mean, if you
Arabia.
want something big in Jeddah, is the Superdome only. But in Riyadh, they need double size of the Superdome.
And I
Only
think
to occupy the people. Only to
yeah,
occupy people.
yeah, I think that there is a solution. There is already a solution for that, and maybe they will use it if they did announce for a Comic Con or any con of sorts. Um the venue where they organized or they hosted the global health, and recently what's it called, the one for real estate, Cityscape, I think.
Cityscape.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That place is like 30 minutes, maybe less, or it's 30 minutes from downtown Riyadh, let's say, or
Okay,
from Riyadh in general.
okay.
But that venue is very huge, very huge. That can definitely accommodate, because you can go through buses, you can go with your own car. There are a lot of parking. It's pretty
Yeah.
far, but if you have the good attraction and something to make me look forward to it, then yeah, I would go. I would definitely go. It's very big. It can accommodate the attendance and the booths and all that. So
Sure.
why not? For Riyadh, that one for sure. And from what I heard, the Dome in Jeddah, that's definitely a perfect place for conventions.
The
You can,
Ri-
Yeah.
the Riyadh venue that you are mentioning, Abdulillah, for our viewers, he's actually referring to Riyadh Exhibition and Convention Center in Hayy al Malham,
exactly, yeah, that's the one.
right? And Superdome, obviously, okay. Uh, I just honestly think that we, first of all, the organizers, we need to have a better team of organizers, whether they are from outside of Saudi Arabia, whether they are inside Saudi Arabia, who understand the superhero comic book culture. Because, Abdulillah Talal, did you attend 2017 Saudi Comic Con?
For me, I can't
2017, yes, in Jeddah. Yeah. I was wearing Arkham Knight at that time.
Woo!
nice.
Abdulillah, did you attend?
Unfortunately, no. I was planning on
Okay.
attending it.
I mean, look, 2017 packed. Uh, 2019 Stan Lee SuperCon in Riyadh packed. Even though there was Anime Expo right next to it. And
Yes.
for argument's sake, that anime community is much larger than the superhero community, still the size or the number of people that were there, and having seen with our own eyes, uh, the cast of Agents of Shield is there. I mean, Sam Jones, Lou Ferrigno, William Shatner from Star Trek.
Mm.
Uh, the list goes on and on. And then at the same time, there were celebrity cosplayers that were there, and uh, people were lining up. I mean, I could not have gotten this picture signed by Lou Ferrigno had it not been for a family. I don't know if you
The
guys.
Hulk himself.
Yeah.
Okay, this autograph session would not have been possible if I had to wait in for my turn. So there was a family right in front of me, two families, in fact. They learned that I came from Jeddah and I have my flight around midnight. So definitely I have to be at the airport by 10:30. So they were kind enough to basically move me forward in the queue so that I can get this thing done. That's how big the queue was. And it's not just for Lou Ferrigno, it was for everyone, every discussion panel that was there. Why can that not be replicated?
See, from my perspective, viewpoint, people to organize such an event, they need to be one of us. One of us mean they need to be a cosplayer. They need to be a collectors. They need
Comics,
to know
right?
comics, figures, statues, everything. And also they know this the shoppers, the tailors. Okay, those people they are the best one to organize. But let's say الحكاية, okay, he have couple of he have lots of shops, they have lots of huge companies, but I don't think their team have some people like us. Okay, even when you communicate with them, and they give you what they have. Okay, but still they're missing the point of view from our perspective.
Yes.
And if you say that Talal, you will handle Comic Con, what you're going to do? First of all, I will tell you, I will ask you this question: where it will be, which city? On that, on this answer, I will decide where the venue, and also decide the timing. Okay, I will exclude all the national holidays. I will
Yes.
exclude Ramadan. I will
Yes.
exclude the international holidays as well.
Right.
Why at that time I cannot bring people from celebrities from outside?
Yep.
You will tell me, okay, we need to a cosplay competition. A cosplay competition, okay. Well, who's the judges? All from outside Saudi. I'm not going to bring people from Saudi Arabia or from the Gulf region. Yani I can select a couple of them, but for maybe let's say for better judgment, I'll bring from outside. What you will do for me, I will say, okay, this area, zone one, for people who are selling comics. Zone two, figures. Zone three, paints, and so on. Okay, what are we going to do? I'll put 1, 2, 3, 5 activities, separate activities, a different area. I don't want this area to be crowded and that nobody can go and buy this stuff.
Nice. Abdullah,
About
how
this,
would you
and
weigh in?
also for the stage, I
Sorry,
will say,
sorry.
okay, sorry. For the stage, I will select a stage where there's a rail, something I can not only to take this equipment by a trolley, but also cosplayer can go up there.
Abdullah, how would you weigh in?
Yeah. I would basically do the same thing, or at least like make a, let's say, a work group or a committee with people who are involved in the community,
Yeah.
because they understand what we want. We understand what are the attractions that the fans want. So okay, let's make something in general, something for movie fans, for the comic book fans, for the video game fans, for the anime fans, something that can attract most of these people. Um, Basically, yeah, we can do the same thing, and maybe even add to the mix the type of let's say guests. Yeah, the guests, the actors, um, organized with them earlier, not something like if you
Last
remember.
minute.
Yeah, exactly. If you remember the one in 2019 or something.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
ask
Oh,
most,
yes. Yes, you are right. You are right.
yeah, if you ask most of them, they will tell you that they were contacted last minute. However, at least they were properly accommodated. I remember when we did the interview with Ron Mars, he did tell us that they did give them like a tour, made him try some of the local restaurants and food, this kind of things. So it's really nice. If we can do the same thing, I don't want to have only Ron Mars or just the legendary comic creators. Let's try for the new ones. Why not have Jeff Johns, Scott Snyder? I know it's difficult, but okay, let's not like uh, think about those guys only. Let's think about the new guys like Jeremy Adams, the one who's writing Green Lantern. Let's think about Kyle Higgins. He's writing Radiant Black. Sorry, and he did write for DC and Marvel.
Right.
So if you invite these guys, and especially because they're kind of young, if you invite these guys and introduce them to our community, when you think about these kind of guests and comic book creators, you will attract even more.
A lot. A lot.
Yeah, not only the writers, not only the artists. Maybe you'll even think about the editors in chief. They will give like seminars. They will give
Yeah, we
uh,
need the workshop.
exactly. They will give workshops. If you think about it, the Comic Con in Emirates, they recently added like Q&A panels and meet and greet, these kind of things. So it's really nice to have the same thing here when you organize it. Not
Yes, I
only
am.
yeah,
Sorry.
there is a
يعني in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, there were also here in Jeddah in Comic Con 2017, there were uh, workshop for cosplayers, how to make the cosplay. One
Oh,
for
yeah.
the ladies at that time and one for the men. And we need something like that again.
There
yeah.
was Habibi. There was even a workshop that had Stan Berkowitz. I don't know if you guys remember, but Stan Berkowitz is the guy who was involved with the Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series. God bless you, Sultan, for coming back. Uh,
Hello.
and just know Justice League animated series. And basically, they were giving away workshops. And Abdulelah, I'm forgetting the name of the writer who did something really awesome for Daredevil. Uh,
Who?
and then he started to write Batman.
Oh, Chip Zdarsky.
Yes, Chip Zdarsky and Donny Cates.
Yes.
So we can. Okay, Sultan, I need you to weigh in on uh, the problem that we are facing currently, and how, because we are now working on the solutions, what can be done to improve the state of affairs for Comic Con in
Okay, let
Saudi?
me tell you. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Last year, okay, Comic Con Arabia, without due respect to people who working there, Abdullah know this thing that they came. Okay,
Right.
they announced early. You remember they announced, and you told me, "Are you in?" I said, "Nobody called me." They
Yeah.
called me before the event, like 4 or 5 days
4 or 5 days before the
before.
event. My God.
Yes, they want me to put a booth and everything.
Statues,
How?
some of the
Statues, some of the how?
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 And you are in Riyadh.
And I'm in Riyadh.
exact.
They said they will pay for
يعني
everything. They said they will
if,
pay everything. It's not.
if
It's not about
somebody
paying
wants me to
money.
take my stuff to Riyadh or whatever, and I'm in Jeddah, I need at
Yes.
least 1 week for preparation, not only and one
What to
and
take?
3 days
Yeah.
there to open the stuff.
What to take and what not to take. What to bring or what is hot, what is not hot. You need to think a lot before you do that.
Exactly. Exactly. Uh,
You can't
so
They,
manage this.
you
I
can't.
remember that. I didn't want to talk about it when Sultan wasn't here, so thankfully he joined back. But for real, how can you organize moving the stuff? And not only that, like he said, what can we choose and to display in the booth? The statues only?
Where is my
Comic
booth?
books? Who's gonna run it? Who's gonna organize and look after the booth? It's
And
nonsense.
who's gonna take the who's gonna stay in my shop?
who's going to stay in your shop? And then, Sultan, by the end of the day, if you're bringing in the collection, the logistical expenses, the cost that are
No,
going
no,
to
no. They said they'll pay for everything. I'm not, but it's not. The principle is not the money. The
still,
principle
man, I
is,
mean, you have
yeah,
money, time.
you announced the event like 4 or 5 months ago. Well, you should call me. You should know what you are expecting from me.
Right.
You should give me a heads up, not something. Next week. No, I can't. If there's an event next week in Riyadh, I cannot do it.
Sa, sa.
Even if it's in Riyadh, I cannot do it in 1 week.
Yes,
How
it's
it's
hard.
in Jeddah. It's hard.
It's hard.
Okay,
يعني,
before you
let me
guys,
show you something, guys.
Talal, I want you to hold your thought for just a minute,
Okay.
Sultan Abdulillah, because I want the community to engage with us also. So we have a very active community member from Shargiya. He says that another issue for the Comic Cons in Saudi these days, most of the guests they invite are cosplayers and anime guests. That's not good. We need movie and TV guests also.
It's
It's
okay.
also
It's okay. Anime, and cosplayer anime. It's good, but also there is are they are good comic cosplayers. They are good, but you need the variety. Don't focus on one thing.
on
The
one thing.
vari-
Correct.
yeah, we need the variety in
Okay,
comic.
and there is another member from the community, Mazin Kaiser. Thank you for participating in the chat. Celebs should have closed rooms with the fans to talk about their movies, shows. Voice actors would typically give workshops on how to start a career in the industry, just like Talal was saying.
I think
So,
these are with the studios. They I think they have to take it with the studio, like a big studio like Disney or Warner or Netflix. They want to talk. I think it's a licensing problem. It's not. I cannot bring a person or not. So this one, Disney Arabia and Warner Brother Arabia should work with Comic Con Arabia.
uh,
True.
guys, before you jump in on these points that I've shared, just one question. Saudi Arabia is now open for companies to establish their regional offices in the country. Do we have Disney office and Warner Brothers office here?
I
I,
think Warner Brother they established a new office, but I'm not sure. Disney, I think it's in Dubai, right?
Last I checked, it was in Dubai.
yeah, I don't
Disney
think we
Arabia.
have any. We have neither of them until now. Maybe.
Okay, Talal, sorry, you were saying something before I asked you to
Yes.
hold your thoughts, so please continue.
Yeah, everybody knows that having a big figure or whatever, it's not easy to move. For example, okay, and this is only for examples,
Right.
you can see how big are these figures. Okay,
Yes.
this is taking any big boxes. It's not easy to move. Comics are the same. How about the cosplay? Yeah, Habibi. You know how long it took me to make this gun, and this is the
Yes.
second one. How
Yes.
about this one? Same.
MashaAllah.
Yani figures. This is this small. Okay, I can take them with the risk of broken. How about big items? Yani, mashallah, Sultan and Abdullah, maybe they have bigger one, and still it's not easy to move all of this from city to city or even inside the city. Comics, yeah, I can put them all in boxes and easy to distribute, but also it will take time. But other items, it's not easy.
Okay. Sultan, what would you say?
Yeah, I agree. But also the shipping handling. Also, we need the bubble wrapping, and also people they don't want dent books.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, they don't want dent books. They want like pristine things to have. So also the shipping is a big problem. So
Yes.
the problem with is I don't like the last minute decisions for some people who in charge of these things. Let's look for something. It's collapse. Oh, let's go to the next one. So
I,
this.
I agree with you on that. Abdullah?
Uh, I don't think I have anything more to add because they basically said everything. And if I'm gonna have to add something, uh, at least if you're gonna coordinate with me, even if you coordinate earlier, uh, give me something of an assurance that you will accommodate the traveling and
Uh,
moving and all that.
guys, I
Because
need to
I
get
can't.
out a little bit and come back to you.
Okay, okay.
No problem.
Okay.
Sorry, Abdullah, continue.
Yeah, it's okay. So, like I said, give me something of an assurance that, or an insurance that you will help me with the moving and everything. Because, okay, maybe I can move it myself. I will pay for everything to expedite it. But what about the reimbursement? Is there something?
Yes.
Because you don't know. Okay, I don't mean that they will steal me. Just to clarify, so no one will get me wrong or something. But at least if you're gonna invite me, give me the accommodation or the coordination to do so, and that's it. Otherwise, if we have the time and resources, yes.
I think,
And also want
sorry,
to add,
continue, Sultan.
I want
Continue.
to add, and also give me the list who's coming. So if I'm fitting or not. I
Yeah,
know who's
exactly.
coming.
Yeah. Like Sultan said, let's say they're gonna invite maybe Ryan Reynolds. Okay, so maybe I can bring the Deadpool comics. I can bring the Deadpool statue. If they're gonna have a theme about Star Wars, maybe I'll bring the Star Wars statues, comics, posters, whatever related to the franchise. So don't just invite me. Oh yeah, just join us. Bring whatever you have. No, I have to
Exactly.
plan. Maybe they will have Jeff Johns. Then maybe I will bring the omnibus for Blackest Night, the Green Lantern books. Maybe I'll have the statues for Hal Jordan and these kind of comics. Maybe I'll bring the Ghost Machine books since it's his new work in the comic book industry. Uh, just to manage something like that, don't just invite someone. Uh, it's kind of difficult even to manage, even if you have the time. Because okay, I can bring A statue, B statue. I can bring whatever merch I have, but who knows? I don't know. I have to know the target audience, so
Exactly. Exactly.
it makes more sense that way. And I just want to comment on Mazen
Yeah.
comment. First of all, I envy you, Mazen. I envy you. Because if you don't know, before I am a comic book fan, I'm also a Dragon Ball fan. So I envy you for talking to Christopher Sabat and Sean Schimmel. But at the same time, I'm very happy for you, and I'll be really glad if they have, if inshallah, when the Dragon Ball theme park,
Uh,
I'll be there in attendance, inshallah, and I'll be
exactly.
really happy. And it'll be even uh, more amazing to have like the English voice actors and the Japanese voice actors. It'll be even more amazing. So inshallah, maybe we'll see them. I hope that they communicate with them and coordinate with them to have them. It'll be amazing.
I
But
hope
I
so.
also envy you. Mashallah, mashallah.
Okay, now we are heading to the final segment of our live broadcast, and I'm just waiting for Sultan to come back, uh, and so we can just bring this live, wonderful live stream to a close, because I was really struggling to find a way on how to gather the community from across the country, and alhamdulillah, today it happened. My dream came true. Especially thanks to all of you guys for taking out the time. uh, eh, l- of all the comic cons that you have attended in Saudi Arabia, which one will you say is your all-time favorite? Abdulillah, I'll start with you first.
Uh, Not just because it was in Riyadh, but it
Hmm.
was surprisingly good. It had it had some shortcomings and this kind of things, but I still think the Anime Expo and Stan Lee SuperCon in 2019 was the best for me.
Hello. I heard the
Right.
question. I think Stanley.
Yeah,
No
I
problem.
think maybe there's a connection issue, so we'll just wait
Yes.
Connection.
for him to come back. So until then, I'm leading the live stream.
That's the advantage of having a cause podcast. That's a good thing, man. God bless you, Abdulillah.
No problem. It's okay. You can switch our places. It's okay.
Now, where's Sultan, ya akhi?
Uh, Sultan got scared of my aura and then he ran away.
Okay, sorry, Abdulillah. Can you repeat what you were just
Yeah,
saying before I lost connection at my end? I don't know what happened.
that's okay. And yeah, before I say that, Mazen, look, I have many Vegeta here. and Mini Goku, and over there I have the Dragon Ball statue. It's okay. So, anyways, I was saying the Stan Lee and Anime Expo in 2019 were the best for me.
2019, okay. So Stanley
Yeah,
SuperCon and Saudi Anime Expo was the best for you.
yeah.
Okay,
Sultan said the same thing as well. So, in case if he doesn't come back, so he said the same thing.
okay. And Talal, your pick as the
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah. I wanted to say the one in 2017 in Jeddah, but I need to agree with the guys for one reason.
Mhm.
First of all, we had Stanley SuperCon and AnimeCon at the same time. It had everything, including the both voice actors for Grandizer, the Japanese and Sammy Clark,
Oh
together at
yeah,
the
yeah,
same time.
that's correct. Yeah, yeah. I remember that they were there.
Including, I'm not including the big statue for Attack on Titans, but I'm including the Batmobile. I'm including Steven Seagal. I'm including lots of people selling lots of great items. And mostly, there are not lots of big uh, shops there or booths for selling items. But the atmosphere, for the atmosphere, I can say Sunny SuperCon and Animecon 2019 Riyadh.
Nice.
Okay,
Then,
I
then
have
I
one
would say,
special highlight. Oh, sorry, Talal. Please go.
then I would say the Comic Con in Jeddah 2017. That's it.
okay. Sultan, Abdulelah just mentioned that your favorite Comic Con in Saudi Arabia has been 2019 Stanley SuperCon.
Yes.
Okay, why?
I think excitement for it's the first time in Saudi Arabia I do it.
Okay. With all of you, I'll agree that Stanley SuperCon is my favorite also because I got the chance to meet all of my childhood, teenage favorite celebrities, whether they were from the world of comics, whether they were from the world of TV or animation or movies. And I just hope that these guys come back. Final word from each and every one of you about the status of Comic Con. What do you see in the future? But before that, one comment from the community member. From my own point of view, Stanley SuperCon 2019 had the best con ever out. But sadly, I missed SuperCon in 20. Okay. Wallah Khalid, you missed a lot. Okay. So, final thoughts, guys. Abdulillah, please start. What do you see the future of Comic Con in Saudi Arabia?
It's difficult to say what I'm saying, but let's say what I'm looking forward to.
Hmm.
Hello?
Better
You hear me?
organizing.
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah, we can hear.
Oh, okay.
Better
But I cannot see
organizing.
you guys or I see Abdullah.
It's okay, Habibi. You are with us.
Okay.
Abdulillah, continue.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm looking forward for better organizing, more attractions. I wouldn't say better because they are kind of good, but we need something more, something to make me uh, get excited. Not only here in Riyadh, to make me say, oh, you know what? I need to plan a trip to Jeddah and attend SuperCon or Comic Con 2025 or whatever. Um, so I can see that happening. Like I said before, I don't think they will go anytime soon unless they keep on having bad reputation or bad organizing and these kind of things. But hopefully, I can see that coming back. I can see that or look forward to having some of the 2017, 2019, even 2018 Comic Cons. I can see that they can bring some of that old flavor back. So hopefully we'll do that. Maybe not this year. So hopefully we'll look forward to it
Next
in the
year.
next in the upcoming years.
Sultan, your thoughts. What do you see the future of Comic Con in Saudi Arabia?
The community is growing, no doubt. And I think if it's open to oh, what do you call it, event planners, it will be more competitive, and we'll see uh, who's gonna do a better job. If, I don't like it to be like it's one-sided for one company. I need more companies to be involved,
Right.
and I think yes, people are getting into it with the TV shows, with the movies, with the anime, and good storylines that are coming from Marvel, DC, indies, manga. I mean the books.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking it will be good, but we need them to what do you call it? Bring people to who understand the community, not understand how to make an event. Understand the community first, then bring people who can make an event.
Okay. Before I move to Talal, just one quick question, Sultan. You
Yeah, because
recently received
I need to leave now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just after this answer, you can go and attend to your customers. No problem. Just
Okay.
one question. Uh, you recently received the shipment of DC's Absolute series.
Yes.
Mashallah, how quickly did they sold out?
Well, I've never seen this before. And I have a lot of successful runs with a couple of comics that go sold out, but it take time to get sold out. But Absolute Batman first printing 2 hours, second printing like half a day, and the total was enormous, like 50 plus issue each shipment. Absolute
Mashallah.
Batman number two 3 hours. Absolute Superman, half a
Mashallah.
day. Absolute Wonder Woman, half a day, and all are 50 plus issues. So this
Mashallah.
is
Mashallah.
it was unusual for me.
Good.
Allah Barak Lak Sultan. We are not
And
going to hold you for any more minute. You can
yes,
feel free if you want to go and attend the customer, and if you can still be with us, that would be amazing also.
thank you very much.
Yeah, Sultan,
If
save some
I
for me,
came
ya
back, it will
Sultan.
be good. If I couldn't came back and you left, it's been pleasure
Sultan,
to be with you all, guys, and I hope to see you very soon.
Sultan, one request from Talal.
I cannot hear him.
Sultan, where are my issues, ya
Yes, can
Sultan?
you tell me what the request?
Where are my issues? Can you hear me? Sultan, Sultan, can you hear me?
Just wait a second. Let me drop him a message.
Can you hear me? Hello? Give me a second, everybody.
No, no, your voice is clear, Talal.
No, yeah, we can hear you, but he can't hear us. He can't hear us at all.
Yeah, Sultan, the first issue of Batman and Superman and these guys, yani, you should send me some, or at least tell me.
Just wait a second. Talal.
We'll save some for you for the next printings.
Next
For the next
printing, huh?
order.
Okay.
For the next order.
Okay, just
I only
I
hear
want to
you,
show you guys
but
one
I
thing
don't
Yeah,
hear
before.
Talal, quickly, Talal, quickly. Ask Sultan now. Sultan can hear us.
No, I hear you. Only you.
Sultan, the first edition of Superman, where is it, ya Sultan? You didn't give me any. Or
Oh, okay, okay.
Absolute
I
Batman.
can hear you all.
You can hear me?
لا. Yeah, I can hear you
You
all. Can
cannot hear
you
me.
tell me again?
I
No,
want
no.
the first
Now I
issue, ya
can hear you.
Sultan. I want the first issue.
27th, 27th, 27th of
27?
November is the third. Yeah, 27th of November. First
Okay,
issue of
so
Batman and Wonder Woman.
okay, all of these, please send me a copy. I'll send somebody to pick it up.
Inshallah.
Okay, Talal.
Yes.
Your thoughts. What do you see the future of Comic Con in Saudi Arabia? Sultan has spoken. Abdulelah has spoken. You as a cosplayer and a toy collector. Thank you, Sultan. God bless you, brother. You as a toy collector, as cosplayer, what do you see
And
the future of Comic Con in Saudi Arabia?
if I'm want to say something about that, we need a good organizer that make 3 events of Comic Con: one in Riyadh, one in Jeddah, and one in Khobar. At least one in Eastern Province. I don't want to see one Comic Con or one event every year. I need event in each place, in each city. So I need for at least 3 cities, at least. One, a good organized, have lots of people, lots of celebrities, a good timing for all of that. And I need something huge like what we had before.
Agreed.
I'm really glad from the responses I heard from all of you. Uh, I have to agree that I was the most pessimistic of all of you until I heard your responses. So clearly there is hope, and hopefully we get a very good organizer or organizers. And yes, we need Comic Cons 3 times a year in Saudi Arabia, one in Jeddah, one in Riyadh, and one in Khobar, and even more cities like Khamis Mashet or Bureda or any other place. We need as much as we can, because the community in each of these cities that I came across, they are just wonderful. Thank you once again to each and every one of you, and especially to all of the viewers who joined in the live broadcast. Thank you all. And every month, Superheroes of Arabia goes live about a particular topic or a theme. And we are going to be very busy until next year, because lots of exciting TV series, superhero movies, and comic books are headed our way. Thank you, Abdulelah Roshi. Thank you, Talal Tayyib. Thank you, Sultan Saad, who had to leave because, mashallah, he had to attend to his customers. Thank you all for your time. This
Thank
live
you.
broadcast comes to an end. Thank you to each and every one of you.
Thank
Allah
you.
ma'akum.
Thank you.
Allah ma'akum.